Hello, I am AJ and I'm here with Laz, and we'll be talking a little bit about what you do here in Reigns. So first off, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
That is great. So can you tell us what's been going on today that you've done so far?
Well, so far this year, this is my first year, as you know, as forensic science teacher. Since May, I've been working as a police officer for the Point Police Department. Since I've taken over here at the forensic science program, we've done a number of different projects. We've done glass analysis projects. We've had competitions where we've gone outside and to focus on glass structure. We've gone outside and had an actual slingshot glass breaking competition, teaching the kids the difference between glass fractures, and so on. And so we've done a lot of things so far.
What would you say is the toughest part of this year so far?
The toughest part, getting used to balancing things out. You put a program in place in the very beginning, from week 1 through the last week of school, and you don't, first year teacher like myself, you don't really count on all the interruptions and things happening, different kids being out, different periods. And so some kids will get to do projects and certain assignments, other kids will not have that opportunity. So we have to wait for those kids to come up. And so it kind of throws things off a little bit, but we learn how to make adjustments.
You did say you were a first year teacher, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
How did you get into teaching?
Actually, my parents were both teachers.
Oh.
And so my mom taught here for umpteen years. She recently retired about 4 or 5 years ago. My dad taught at Roosevelt High School, at Skyline High School in Dallas. He also taught at Eastfield College. And so they've been trying to get me into teaching forever. I've been here for over 22 years as an aide and everything. And this summer I was working as, like I said, as a police officer in Point. And they contacted me, asked me if I would consider the position, and I did, and here I am, teaching forensic science.
You've been in a long line of teachers, haven't you?
Absolutely.
That is cool. What would you say it's like being here, like about the community? Like, how do you feel?
Being here, this is a part of my life. We moved here in 1995. My parents, we moved to Commerce actually from California, believe it or not. And my parents wanted to get their, bachelor's, master's degrees and so on. So we moved to Commerce. Moved here after a year of living in Commerce, 95. Been here ever since, graduated from here. Beautiful town. I love the people. Everybody's been like family to me. Working here is not like a job. I've been here for, like I said, 22 years. This is all part of my family here.
I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any plans for the remainder of this year?
Remainder of this year, you mean as far as forensic science class goes?
Yes.
Basically, we're ending up the year. We're going to be doing a lot more projects. We got into some crimes and investigation stuff. Blood splatter analysis stuff is coming. We're going to be doing a lot of things as far as the kids are wanting to do a lot more reenactment type of things, where we actually go out into the field, find evidence, and things like that. We did a lot more classwork on the classwork side of things first semester. This second semester we'll be actually doing a lot of outside activities.
That is very cool. What would you say is your favorite part about teaching forensics?
My favorite part, I like to reward the kids when they're doing well. Our class structure is Monday through Thursday for now. Next year to change, not having Fridays, but Monday through Thursday we work. They take quizzes on Thursday. Everybody does well. They have game days on Friday, and where they play PlayStation, board games, watch movies, and so on.
So I also am under the understanding that you were or you are a police officer?
I was a police officer 13 so years ago. I started working with the Sheriff's Department. And I went to the police academy, worked here for a while first. The officer that was on campus here, her and her husband tried to get me to go to the police academy for a while. It took me about a year before I decided to go ahead and do it. And so they put me through the police academy. I got out of the academy. Sheriff's Department came to the campus to find me and so on, and got me to work for them. So I started working for the Sheriff's Department, worked for them for about 6 years. I started a basketball training business because I've been basketball training kids forever. And so I started actual business. That took off and did well. So then I was doing all three, and it was a little tough. So Once I started doing really well in basketball, I was able to quit the night job, which was the sheriff's department. And so I've been doing that, just working here and basketball for the past few years, up until last December. December before this one. One of my buddies came to find me. He was going to get a job at Point PD, possibly chief. I wanted to work for him and so on. So I decided to go back and get my certification stuff, everything that I needed, caught back up. And he hired me on once I passed the state exam, and the rest was history. I started working for Point Police Department. Been great ever since. Love the people, love the city, love working for who I work for.
That is a very awesome storyline right there.
Yeah.
So with all these things on your plate, which is a lot, by the way, like, do you have any hobbies? Like, would you have time for hobbies at that?
I do have hobbies. I work out, of course. I don't really consider working out a hobby. It's more or less a part of my job, as a police officer. What do I like to do for fun? I do play golf. I don't get a chance to play as much as I used to, but I like playing, But I would say if anything close to a hobby that I actually do would have to be fitness and working out, because that's the only thing that I really have time to do these days.
Well, thank you so much for this interview. Want to thank you for that, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Wildcats, make sure to subscribe to our Spotify podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.